Today's Memorial Day services are like none other due to COVID-19. Many traditional ceremonies have been canceled, but as we mentioned, the president still went to Arlington National Cemetery where he laid a wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier. And we've talked to a lot of amazing guests today about Memorial Day. And Sean, you've served. What does this day mean to you?
I think more and more you recognize as you grow older, hopefully, the sacrifice that people have made, right? And you realize that these people, no one went into battle thinking that they were going to die, but they were willing to do it because they understood how important the freedoms are that we have as a country. And not making sure, we talked about that poll that came up last week about how many people are mixing up the two holidays, Veterans Day and Memorial Day. And it's important that I think we make sure that we teach the next generation about how important this day is, because literally people died so that we could have a day to do this. And it just shouldn't be about sales and opening pools. It should be remembering people who served. And I know the military to you is a very special place as well.
Yeah, that's right. I grew up as a military brat. My dad served 30 years, and from a very young age, he taught me what it means to have freedom, that it's not free. And he spent many tours overseas in Iraq and Afghanistan, Saudi Arabia. And there's many pictures that he shared with me of him side beside bedside of people dying who had given the full measure. And you realize, wow, my freedoms aren't free. And to see that poll of half of people from the age of 18 to 34 don't understand what this day means is a little bit heartbreaking at times, because we need people to understand, like you're mentioning, that this day is so important to understand where our freedoms come from. And there's so many that paid the full measure so that we can enjoy those.
Yeah, I know we talked before about, this back and forth about whether the president should have gone to Baltimore. The speech that he gave today was fantastic. Remembering people, we're honoring people in terms of what they've done and why it's important. We've got to not remember them, but what went on at Fort McHenry, why the Star Spangled Banner came out of there. It was such an amazing story, and I'm glad that the president, the first lady were there to share it with folks. It was great. I flipped through all the channels, and everybody had it on in terms of the news channels, and it was great because hopefully people got a chance to bring their families in, and for that moment, if nothing else, got to remind them about what today is all about.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. And meanwhile, in other news, the Trump administration imposed a travel ban on Brazil. Starting Thursday, non-U.S. citizens and legal residents will be denied entry. Brazil is one of the hardest hit countries by COVID-19, only second to the U.S. Sean, do you think the timing of this is interesting at all?
No, I think they have a flare-up of cases there, and they've got to do what they do. We have to do what we have to do to keep the country safe. So, doing that, and it didn't seem like it caused too much of a diplomatic problem with Brazil.
Yeah, well, it's probably a wise decision as we're all trying to keep this country safe and enjoy our freedoms. Coming up, we're talking to a Vietnam War vet and a Medal of Honor recipient on how he's spending Memorial Day, and the Deputy Director of Public Affairs at the American Battle Monuments Commission on how the organization maintains American cemeteries in foreign countries. Stick with us.